ever worn a brand new pair of shoes for 2.5 hours and take them off and you don't have a blister on your foot and your feet feel great and you're fine and you're not like, oh, I can't wait to take my shoes off, right? I mean, that's I was healing while wearing her shoes. That's a gift.
Hello, and welcome to the Energy Flow podcast. I'm Kelly Kennedy, and I am here to discuss all things energy, fascia, lymphatics, oxygen, and water. Over my 26 years of being on this journey and 19 years in clinical practice, dealing with chronically ill, chronically pained, to the optimizing of health and to everything in between, we have learned throughout these years how to efficiently and effectively teach people how the body works, get them engaged in that system, help them understand how the universe works and how those two connect. And that's what this Energy Flow podcast is about. Whether you are new to us or you've been a longtime listener of over 4 years now, we are so happy and honored to share our heart's honest truth about what we know, what has worked for us, what's worked in the clinical practice, and what might be the key to your next step in your journey. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for sharing this with all that it will resonate with. We look forward to each and every moment of our genuine connection. Thank you for listening.
Welcome back to the Energy Flow podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Kennedy. And today, as you know, we explore all things energy and how to apply that science of energy. And I am so excited to share with you one of the great companies that I personally have utilized for years to really understand and know the backing behind this company, the scientific backing to why I have chosen to surround my feet with Harmony 783 shoes for the last few years. And I realized this was a secret I needed to divulge to all of you. So welcome, Pam, from Harmony 783 and your beautiful company and your beautiful mission.
Well, thank you, Kelly. We are thrilled to be here, and I'm thrilled to be with another like-minded soul who wants to do everything possible to improve our health and wellness while we walk this earth. And that's what we're set out to do for Harmony.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit, Pam, if you would. What is Harmony 783 for those that don't know? Why are we talking footwear and what is it?
Well, Harmony 783 is a company that I set up and we launched in 2020. So we were kind of in the middle of the COVID-19.
I didn't know that. You just launched in 2020?
Yes.
I think I've been wearing your shoes since pretty much the inception of your company. I had no idea.
Yes.
Oh, that's very funny. I just assumed you'd been around forever because it was so well founded. Okay, keep going. Sorry to interrupt.
Well, we had a predecessor company that my original partner had started. It was called Plugs.
Okay.
And the technology that she used was very different from what we use now.
Gotcha.
But we launched Harmony 783 in 2020, November of 2020. We are online sales only. We don't have a physical store anywhere. So even so, I've been surprised that we managed to fit people. We managed to fit like 89% of our customers on their first try. So that has been very fortuitous for us. We've had some great designers that help us get this fit and the ergonomic structure of the shoe just perfect. So Harmony we chose the name Harmony 783. Harmony is for being in harmony with the frequency of the earth. And 783 is for the fundamental Schumann resonance, 7.83 hertz. So the Schumann resonance is the vibrational resonance that happens between the surface of the earth and the ozone layer. And it changes from time to time, depending on the alignment of the planets and where we are with the sun and whether there's a sunspot that happens. But there are people who do nothing but follow that Schumann resonance. But 7.83 is the resonance at which the human body is most comfortable.
Most in alignment, right? What you mean by
Right.
comfortable? When we're in coherence, when we're in regeneration, when we're in alignment with nature. So how did you get inspired to open a footwear company for grounding shoes, essentially? For what you're saying is these are grounding shoes. So a lot of people go out and they know the concept of grounding. I want to dive into that a little bit. But what inspired you to create this company?
Well, I live in Colorado. I've been a runner since I was 12 years old. Um, I had a really bad ankle break and became a hiker and no more running. And I thought, I love the health and wellness that Colorado provides. We have clean air, we have beautiful trails and scenery to hike, we have great creeks to go rafting in and ski slopes. But the thing I like to do most is hiking. And I said, the only way I could be healthier being hiking would be to have a pair of shoes that would connect me to the earth while I'm hiking. And so I set out to create that and met my original partner at a health and wellness conference, saw that she had created a line of shoes that was more for urban wear, I will say. It wasn't really for athletic wear or outdoor wear. And so I took over the company and began creating styles that are for wearing anywhere, to your kid's soccer game, for you to play tennis in, or for you to go do your normal errands, and best of all, to go hiking anywhere, in the city or in the mountains, on the beach, wherever you're connected to the earth, as you would be if you were barefoot.
And that's really the key to the technology, right? Is that being able to be connected to the earth and using that natural energy, that natural frequency, that allows us to make such a simple, I don't really love the word hack, so I'm like trying to come up with another word. It allows us a simple action on a daily basis to allow us the greatest benefit perhaps in our health, to be honest with you. I mean, outside of moving the lymph, because when you're grounded, it moves your lymph, right? I mean,
Right.
just let me just dive in with the energy flow. Like, what do you know about the lymph from a grounding perspective? I'm so curious. I don't know if we talked about that, and I'm sorry I'm putting you on the spot, but what do you know about that from the perspective of grounding?
Well, I don't know of any studies that have been done on lymphatic flow and grounding, but it makes sense that it would improve lymphatic flow, because you are balancing out free radicals in your body, basically, with the free electrons from the earth when you connect with the earth. And, to be connected, as you only need to be touching one finger to a tree. That's all it takes. It's like an electrical connection. It's like plugging a light fixture into the wall and it instantly turns on. That's what happens when you touch your skin to the ground or to a tree. But it improves your blood viscosity. So your blood runs a little bit thinner. The blood cells stay further apart. They don't tend to clog together. And so it really improves blood flow, which improves wound healing. And
Because your lymph is flowing is what happens. That oscillation begins the movement of the lymphatics, because that stimulation, when you connect those two physical things, when you connect the earth to your physical body, because we have forgotten that that's what we're part of, it instantly creates that kinetic energy that's actually life force. And that life force is connecting to your life force and it instantly starts to heal. Correct me where I'm wrong, Pam, because I know the gentleman that helped you create these shoes knows way more about energy medicine than me. He wrote the actual book on it, but I want to make sure that everybody understands. Can you really simplify the concepts of grounding for us? Because what we're saying is I'm an organism, I'm on a planet, I go and touch that somehow in my physical body, and then I allow myself to heal. But can you break that down scientifically for us a little bit, like you were doing with the electron transfer?
Yeah. So the Earth is getting hit by lightning 24/7 all around the entire surface of the Earth. And so that creates a negative charge on the surface of the Earth. When we are exposed to so many electromagnetic frequencies and toxins and radiation in the Earth, it tends to make us positively charged. And so, if we can connect with the Earth like our ancestors did, they wore leather soled moccasins, that is conductive. Many slept on skins, that was conductive for them. And when we created rubber soled shoes that disconnected us from the Earth, we saw an incredible growth in these inflammatory caused diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and even cancer.
Top
And
three right
so,
there.
even though we've come up with drugs to handle the symptoms of all of those things, the root cause is increasing on the Earth with all of the electromagnetic energy that we create every day with our lighting, with our cell phones, with our cordless devices in our homes, and with towers, with cell towers.
And for clarity, those are positively charged electrons that actually create a challenge to our body, right? It's the dissonance that they create. They're not harmonic with nature. What you're saying is that the EMFs that we have created through our lighting, through high tech, through microwaves, through cell phone towers, has this frequency that is not as though the nature's frequency, which is from the lightning bolts that are constantly hitting the earth from the atmosphere, that's creating an electrical charge of negative ions, which is healing, which is what we need in the body. And the positive ions are the toxicants and the things we don't want, because it is a kind of weird thing to think about, right? Because we're learning negative is bad and positive is good, but in science, positive electrons are bad. Essentially, not anything's bad or good, it's all a balance, but essentially we have excess of those and not enough of the negative ions that actually allow the body to be in the state of flow, and that creates that proper oscillation that's in that Fibonacci series, correct?
Yes, for the most part, that's correct. There's an electron by its nature is negative, so there's not a positively charged electron. They are all negatively charged, but we create in our bodies with the electromagnetic energy that we're part of every day and increasingly part of. It creates a positive charge in us, and so we're
Mm.
out of balance. And different people are out of balance to different degrees. So people often ask me, am I going to notice when I put your shoes on? Am I going to feel something right away? Am I going to instantly feel a charge running through my body? And I say, it's kind of like vitamin C. If you are really deficient in vitamin C and you have not had any vitamin C in months and you get it, you are going to feel the difference instantly. As grounding goes, if you are really out of balance, you are going to feel it when you start wearing our shoes outdoors, or when you go barefoot or go hiking and touch trees every 10 steps or so. But
And good.
So the connection balances you out, and you will notice it more to the extent you're out of balance.
And I will just tell my story here. So how I got started with her shoes. It was COVID. I was on a computer all the time. All of a sudden, I was on a computer more than I'd ever been in my life. I was like, where are my blue blockers? How can I get grounded? And I was inside a lot and I wasn't doing what I normally do. And I happened upon these grounding shoes and I ordered them. To be honest with you, I saw the bottom. I was like, I mean, it looks like rubber. How is this possibly working? I don't know. They're cute. They're ballet slippers. I love ballet slippers. I'm going to order them. And I put them on. And I was like, oh, they're very comfortable. Oh my gosh, these are the best ballet slippers I've ever had. And I loved them and I wore them to pieces to the point where I was like, okay, I'm going to get another pair. And then I saw they had these like little tennis shoes. I was like, oh, I love those little tennis shoes. And I ordered the tennis shoes and they were a little small. I have a very unusual foot and, well, 2 feet, but one particularly. And it didn't really fit. But my husband, they fit him. We were a half a size different. So then he got those shoes. So then I was like, well, I can't get the same shoes as him. So then I got the like sneakers that were the high top things. I didn't even know I was going to like them, but I knew that I needed some kind of sneaker. I didn't want the same as him. I love these things. And last year, this is how this happened, y'all. I was looking for another pair of shoes to travel with, and I was looking for another pair of ballet slippers. And I was like, you know, in all honesty, I was like, there's not a huge variety. So let me just look for other kind of ballet slippers. Let me see what else is out there. And I love flat shoes. And I ordered like 5 pair and I put them all on. And the second I put them on, I was like, oh, I can't wear these shoes. These don't feel the same. And I went back, was like, just stop it, Kelly. Just buy more Harmony 783 because it was that I couldn't put anything else on my foot that didn't feel that way. I literally I just moved. I have so many pairs of shoes. It's dumb because I had a bit of a shoe problem. And but really, I wear like 4 pairs of shoes, like 3 of yours. And I do have this one pair of boots that I absolutely love that aren't grounding shoes, but I just love the boots. But the thing is, like, I almost can't wear those boots very often because I always go, nah, it's better for me to be grounded. Nah, it's better for me to feel that connection. And it's for me, I notice when I don't have the shoes on. Like that's where I'm at. And what you said is true. Depending on where you're at in the cycle, you're going to notice these or you might not, but it's the subtle energy body that's going to be aware that you're wearing them and it's going to regulate you and uplift you. And that's the key because we're inside so much. And when we're outside, we have something typically separating us. So I would love to get to the science behind that little thing on the bottom of all your shoes that looks like it's rubber, but it's not. If you could share that with me, because when you and I were talking, I was like, that's why it works. Gosh, you're brilliant. Hello, my beautiful listeners and viewers of the Energy Flow podcast. First of all, thank you for your loyal listening and your active engagement in this lovely project known as the Energy Flow podcast. And as you know, we have changed it a little bit in the last few months, and now we have a tier 1 membership and a tier 2 membership, which allows you to go with me deep, fast, like I like to. So in the tier 1, you get to hear the second part of these episodes so we can go a little bit more involved and say things perhaps we couldn't say on every platform. In the tier 2, you also get to be part of our Q&A where you get to bring your questions directly to me for me to answer once a month, as well as an organized platform for you to dive into fascia, lymph, energy, water, and oxygen so you can get your energy flow going. Join us on this membership platform for only $23 a month for that investment in yourself because you know you are worth it. Join me. See ya at the Q&A.
The original technology was a plug in the bottom of the forefoot of the shoe. And that's all it takes to connect you and ground you. Well, she's looking for that. I'll just explain. This is the outsole of our shoe. And I don't know if you can see that.
We can. That little circle in the center that's got like the
Yeah.
frequency signature
That's
signal.
actually just for decoration. This entire sole is all made of a carbon-infused rubber, and it has to have just the right quantity of carbon to be connected, but to also remain flexible and comfortable. These are the shoes that you may have. These are the cognac ballet flats.
Yep, they're the exact.
And they are the same. So this outsole here is all carbon infused rubber. The little decoration there is just that. It's just a decoration. But you see that the tread on these and the softness is really great. And this is called a trampoline heel. That piece right there is empty, so it gives it room to move when you put your weight on it. And inside this shoe, if you can see the silver stitching in there, the silver stitching is connecting to the outsole. This only has 2 layers, and that is what is allowing you to be grounded. That silver stitching is connecting to your foot. Silver is also antimicrobial, so it helps with wearing your shoes barefoot and not having them stink and gather up unwanted microbes.
Yeah.
So this is the outsole of our lace-up shoes, and you see this is a pure silver loop of fabric, and it loops around in this, the white area here is called the midsole. So that silver wraps around through the midsole, connects to the outsole, and then connects. This is our new technology. This one is our. So this is a conductive glue that we put on the insole, and then you can easily see the silver stitching.
Yep.
So that goes in here, and that's what your foot sits on. So when I had the same reaction as you when I said, well, this looks like a rubber sole, just like any other rubber sole to me. But it's not. It's a carbon-infused rubber, and it weighs a little bit more than regular rubber, but even so, our shoes are still very lightweight. People are surprised at how, especially men, this is one of our best sellers for men.
Yeah, that's the one we have, white. We love it.
This is, yeah, we make it in white, black, and kind of a bomber jacket brown. And this shoe is so comfortable. You wear it all day and your feet aren't sore. You're not feeling like I need to go in and take my shoes off and go barefoot for a while. Very, very comfortable, but very lightweight.
So let's get to the science a little bit. I appreciate you showing that and getting them to understand the depth you went to in the soul. I mean, as you're talking to them, a little bit laughing, because feet, I talk about feet a lot. I touch a lot of feet, and a lot of my friends, like Black therapists and physiotherapists, they all understand that death starts in the feet. Anybody that understands fascia knows that it starts in your feet, because your feet get all bound up because they're actually not connecting. And you actually can connect every single organ in your foot, or every single organ, every tissue can be addressed from your feet and your hands. So when you put these shoes on, you're it's like having an infrared sauna on, which I just turned off because it was getting a little warm in my office. But it's like having that on while you're on a computer all the time. You're like, yeah, I'm getting all this positive electrons, but I'm also getting all these negative electrons, and it's outbalancing me. So even though I'm on this computer, I'm getting all this goodness. And even though I'm in a house, my whole body is being fed this, not just my feet, because my feet go to my whole body. So if you could break down the science of, the what you've done, and then how that science being applied has given you feedback from clients. Like, you've been doing this for 5 years now, right? So you took the
Right.
science of energy, and if you want to just talk about Dr. Oshman for a minute, I think that would be fabulous for my community because they've all heard of him. Because it's such a gift. I had no idea. And to let them understand the depth, because are there any shoes like yours on the market?
Yes, there have been some competitors that have jumped in and copied us. And they've made some different styles. So every one of the competitors um, is slightly different, and they make a slightly different style of shoe.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people these days are favoring the zero rise shoe, the barefoot shoe. That takes a while to get used to. The idea is that there's no lift in the sole of the shoe, and there's plenty of room in the toe box for your toes to spread out. We have not made a shoe like that yet, but most of our shoes have very little lift in them.
Yeah.
If you see the sole here, there's not a lot of difference in the front and the back. The difference is we have really great arch support in ours. A barefoot shoe does not have arch support. So it's intended to let you be running, walking outside as though you were barefooted with your feet flat in the shoe. For me, I'm not comfortable with that. A lot of people aren't, and it takes a while to get used to, but that's not what I'm after. You were referring to Jim Oshman, who is the sort of original researcher on the concept of grounding and bringing it through the feet. But understanding the biochemical flow of that energy up the leg into the arms, it happens instantaneously. So if you put our shoes on, we have a video, I think, on the website, but if you put our shoes on and you stand next to someone who's not grounded, just like the tree, all I have to do is touch your hand and you'll be instantly grounded. That's how fast the energy flows through our bodies, because we're 70% water. So energy flows very quickly through water.
And I also love that video where you were showing the stability of the person with your shoes on and then regular shoes, and how much stronger when they were being pushed they were in their, like, same exact person, two different shoes, same amount of pressure, and their stability was so much more because they were grounded and their body was really wavering when they were in just, quote, normal shoes.
Right. So the term grounded, in it from a scientific basis, means you're connected electrically to the earth. But it also is the sort of metaphysical, spiritual term of I feel grounded. I'm stable. I am calm, and I'm ready to move from this place in a calm, balanced manner. Grounding does both. And perhaps the second version of grounding is because of the first, because you're electrically connected to the earth and your body is in balance. And just like with vitamin C, you're not going to overdose on free electrons. If your body doesn't need them, they will just, dissipate into the atmosphere. So uh,
Beautiful.
that's what I like so much about wearing our shoes. I have one example of one of our customers. I was showing him how he was going to feel differently in the shoe and showing him on the tester how he was grounded in our shoes and not in his. And we finished the test, walked around in our shoes for a little while, and he said, "Oh my gosh, Pam, before I came here, I had this really severe pain in my knee. I just noticed that it's gone. It just disappeared. It's not there anymore." And so that's what grounding can do for you. If you have an inflammation caused irritation somewhere in your joints, in your body, it will relieve that inflammation as well. So
Sure, you get lots of stories and lots of emails about how the shoes have changed physical ailments throughout the years. Yes.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very exciting. Well, as we wrap up, I just have a little rapid fire questions I want to ask you. And then we're going to go into part two and we're going to dive a little deeper into the soul of the soul for our forum members, for the folks that are sponsoring members of the Energy Flow Forum. So here's a couple quick questions. Just first answer. Where's your favorite place to walk barefoot, Pam?
Walk barefoot. Probably the beach in Cabo.
Mm, I'll join you there. What's one grounding tip that everybody should try?
um, Standing outside, just outside of your house on concrete or grass or dirt or gravel, and just standing there, allowing the sunshine to flow on you. You're getting the benefits of the sunshine as well as the benefits of the free electrons flowing through your body and increasing your chi, your lymphatic flow, your blood flow.
If you were to have your dream collaborator for putting these on everyone's feet, who would that be?
Oh, that's a tough question.
I know. I was thinking about that too. That's why I'm asking it. Like,
Who
how
would be my
fastest way we could get this on everybody's feet?
um well, if you're talking about a person or
I don't know. I mean,
uh
before you, I bought most of my shoes at Nordstrom's. Like that's what made me think the question. Nordstrom's hasn't gotten nearly as much as my money since I met your company. And I'm like, what if these were available at Nordstrom's? What if people knew it was an option? Like who, because anymore, I mean, I have a 12-year-old. Where do you get kids' shoes? I don't know. That was one of my questions for you. When are we coming out with a kid line? Although his feet are growing fast enough, give me a minute. But it's like this has been so important to me for so long. I've been so aware of this, and shoes are such a problem. Like Buster Brown's, remember that, where they would measure your foot, they would talk to you about it. One of my great friends, who's a natural, he's a holistic chiropractor, he's a quantum chiropractor, and one of the first things he ever taught me was about the shoe last because he works with athletes. He was a runner, he works with runners. He said a lot of the problems that people have is the bottom of the shoe is the wrong shape for the size of the foot they have because you have to look at their shoe last and how their foot's aligned. This was 20 years ago, and I was like, what are you talking about?
for people who don't know, this is a shoe last. That's what you're and so the shoe is this is meant to these take so much time to create. The first step in making a shoe is making the last, and that's what we shape the shoe around, whether it's leather or knit.
And you have a straight bottom sole for the majority of your shoes, where the bottom of the bottom and the bottom of the top are a straight line. And if you look at the majority of the shoes, that is not the truth. And
Right.
so I started to shop for shoes 20 years ago from that perspective, then the grounding perspective. And when I had a kid, I'm like, well, this is a problem because everybody's buying crappy shoes. Their kids' feet are malformed. Then they're ending up in my office 20, 30 years later, and they've got neck pain, back pain because they've got misalignment of their posture, which is limiting their fascia and their lymphatic flow, which is keeping them sick. And it all starts at the feet, folks. It starts at the feet. So in preparation for this, I'm like, where could we put these shoes where could we make access to this? Who would be your perfect partner? Let's just create it, right? We're creative beings. So who's Pam's perfect partner so we could get everybody's feet properly aligned?
Well, you could look at one of the big shoe manufacturers. Nike's an example. Nike has some of the most uncomfortable shoes ever made, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, I don't think I bought a pair of Nike since I learned the thing about the last. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think as a person goes, Dave Asprey might be the right person. Dave happens to wear a size 16 shoe.
Oh,
And
I didn't know that.
he was really becoming much bigger and more popular about the time we launched. And at one point we were going to, we made size 16 shoes just so we could get them to Dave Asprey.
Wow.
And he was growing. He had just reached another step of growth, and he was no longer accepting any products to try. He wants everybody to pay to be part of his annual conference.
Yeah.
Um, but trying to get them on everybody's feet. Most people who know about grounding believe that every shoe company will make a grounded shoe.
I
Soon.
agree. But
And
soon. I mean, they're going to
yeah,
start to pay attention. Yeah.
and since our niche is really a stylish looking shoe that is comfortable and is grounded.
Yeah,
So
that's your niche. Yeah.
yeah,
Which is, I firmly appreciate because listen, I love the flip flop look. I love the 0 point shoes for the summer when I'm at the beach. But, I'm on stages and I work in a clinic and I have cold weather and I have, and, and breaking my elbow last year wearing non-grounding shoes, by the way, because it was an ice storm and I was in the middle of this horrible weather and I should have had your hiking boots on, but I broke my elbow last year falling, and shoes become very important to me. Do I feel grounded? Do I feel safe? And then do they look good too? Because, I'm vain too. I like my shoes to look good. That's why I have so many darn shoes. I like shoes. It's a way to express myself. And
yeah.
and I love the looks of your shoes. I feel good in your shoes, and I just appreciate what you've done. Last question before we go. What is your first thing you do in the morning?
Stretch.
Good answer.
That's a very easy answer. I
Moving
think,
that fascia, opening that fuzz.
yeah, well, getting that, the upper movement um, and circulating every joint that you can to get that lymphatic flow moving. But to me, that's the most important health practice that anyone should adopt is stretching.
Movement.
Daily,
Movement.
regular. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, movement in general, but stretching in particular, because that's what loosens the fascia, separates it from the muscle, and allows the fluids to flow more easily. So you can move as a younger person much older in your life.
Oh,
And that's what I think all of us want is we don't want to just grow old. We want to grow old and be healthy while we're at it. So that's my motivation for our shoes is to be as healthy as I can be as long as I can.
well, you have absolutely done that. And I so appreciate your work and we so appreciate you. And for those of you who are interested in trying out Harmony Harmony 783. We do have a code for you. There's a link down here. You can access that. And I want to hear all about it. I know Pam wants to hear all about it as you flow forward freely from your heart center, knowing you are connected because you have on Harmony 783.
Absolutely. You can always go wear shoes, but you can't always go barefoot. And so that's what we like to tell people. You don't need our shoes to be grounded.
That's right.
You can go barefoot. You can stand and touch a tree.
If you're going to wear shoes, this is your choice to be grounded and look pretty.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Pam.
Thank you, Kelly. This has been a joy.
And thank you all for listening and for walking this path with us, or this labyrinth, if you will. And if you like us and want to support us, please share this with everyone, because it helps everyone find this and find the true answer to healing, which is within them and all around them. They just got to learn how to access it. We'll see you next time on The Energy Flow.
Well, champions of the vibe flow community, energy flowing through that body, thank you for sharing this time with us and getting through the entire episode today. I know time is what we're spending here as our currency on this planet as people, and it really does mean a lot that as we devote our time and energy into creating this content, that you stuck with us throughout it. So if you would like more on this particular subject from this expert and get that free gift, make sure to register for our Energy Flow Forum. And you too, with a very nominal price, can access all sorts of upgraded content and deeper dives into the very subjects that you love: energy, fascia, lymphatics, oxygen, and water. As you know, as always, on this show and any content that we create, it is for your own health purposes. This is not intended to be advice or medical diagnoses or professional advice. It's purely information that if it resonates with you and you apply it and you upgrade, we love to hear about it. What a great coincidence, and we're happy to be on that journey with you. If this doesn't resonate with you, and you know somebody it will, pass it along. And in the meantime, know that we truly are here to show you and explain to you and be with you through this lovely journey of life, and to share our experiences together and help each other upgrade, because that's how we're going to do this, together, collaborating with love at the center. I'm Kelly Kennedy, and I am so grateful from my heart to yours to share this time, energy, and space with you.